Pavements are meant for walking, but in Chennai, spotting someone who actually walks on pavement is almost impossible. Because in neighbourhoods like Adyar, Besant Nagar and Thiruvanmiyur, pavements are not really pavements anymore. They have been turned into front yards, parking lots, and even mini garden. But they are not part of residential blocks or commercial establishments. They are pavements, a public space which is meant for you and me.
I got hit early in the morning, 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Here, I was walking with my mother. An auto comes. Guy doesn't even watch. He just slides and hits me.
They don't have this thing, civic sense at all. You cannot blame a single entity on it.
Chennai is the fastest growing, highest GDP one of the highest GDPs in India. But the infrastructure does not reflect that.
This encroachment forces pedestrians off the pavements onto busy streets. For push carts, the government acts overnight. But for these bigger encroachments in plain sight, it looks the other way. This is the story of Chennai's pavements and the silence that lets it happen.
I think it is a combined effort of the police, corporation, and even the public. Public also have to play a part in it. You cannot blame a single entity on it.
It is not at all walkable, the city. Wherever I go, even if there's a pavement, it's not well maintained. Even if I'm walking on the pavement, because there are potholes on the pavement, I have to come down onto the road. And because you have motorists and vehicles going about, I have to be careful. So it's just not safe.
TNM visited Shastri Nagar, a suburban part of Adyar in Chennai. What should have been a simple stretch for people to walk has slowly turned into private extensions. Along just one lane, the 5th Cross Street, we found pavements turned into ramps and parking spots. Out of 20 buildings, 10 had ramps, 8 had car parked on the pavement, debris was dumped into 3 places, and in 2, residents had lined up plans to block the pavements.
But this isn't unusual. It is what pavements look like across Chennai.
இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க நடக்கிறதே ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு. வேற வழி இல்லை. ஸ்லோவாக போகிறோம். இந்த கார் ஓட்டுறவங்களும் சரி, பைக் ஓட்டுறவங்களும் சரி, இந்த சிக்னல் பார்த்தாங்களாம் சில பேர் நிற்கிறாங்க. சில பேர் அப்படியே அடிச்சுட்டு போகிறாங்க. நாங்கள் வந்தால் கூட அவங்க நிற்கிறது நாங்களாம் நிற்க வேண்டியதாக இருக்கு. ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்கு. கவர்மெண்ட்டும் சரியில்லை, போலீஸ் ஆக்ஷனும் சரியில்லை. இது எப்போ வந்தால் எப்போ சரியாகவும் தெரியல.
बदलाव तो ऐसे हो जाएगा ना, जैसे साइड में जो भी पार्किंग है उसको दूसरी जगह पर शिफ्ट करना चाहिए.
तो फुट स्ट्रीट वाला लगाते हैं, ठेला वाला सब कुछ.
ये खाली ओपन होने के बाद पैदल यात्री आराम से चल सकता है.
For people with disabilities, it is not just about the blocked pavements. Even ramps that are meant to help often make movements harder.
I'm in the Adyar, it's a main area of Chennai. So I want to go to, say, Tambaram or Coimbatore bus stand or Kilambakam bus stand. So I have to catch bus from towards Adyar or towards the Anna University. So to go to that area, if I propel my wheelchair, I cannot cross the road because the steep high ramp is there. So I need someone to push it. So once I climb into the ramp, there are a lot of drainage potholes. They are built. They are not parallel to the platform. So they are ups and down. I have to manage it. So, and there is no railings are there. So if I miss it, I will fall the steep this one. So again, if I manage to go there further, then I have to cross the road. To cross the road, there is no signal or anything. I am only depend upon the mercy of the traffic constables. Only they support. Unless the traffic police is there, I can never cross the road. So the independency for the disabled person to move is completely stopped.
The Chennai Corporation officials claim that all the pavements are built with IRC and ITDP guidelines. But on the ground, the reality is far from it.
The Indian Roads Congress says that pavements should be at least 1.8 meters wide in residential areas and 2.5 meters in commercial ones. They should be clear, continuous, and safe for everyone: kids, the elderly, and people with disabilities. The rules also say that walking zones should be free of poles, trees, utility boxes, and any other obstructions.
Suppose if I have a house and I should live within my premises, but we always tend to step outside on public places. We build ramps outside, occupy any public space. We think it's ours, we can do it at any time without any permission from any government agency. And it is ingrained in our thing. So officials also do not take it seriously.
The sad thing is we've not even prioritized the road infrastructure for public transport. Even that would have been, a starting point to look at pedestrians, right? Because it's like you have to reach a bus stop or a bus terminus, you have to walk a certain distance. The first the trip that you take from your residence is always a walk trip, and then you transfer to another vehicle. It could be an auto rickshaw, it could be a bus, or it could be a metro or a train or whatever. So the thing is, we could have at least, started by prioritizing public transport, but we didn't do that either, which is why the pedestrian also got left out in that entire discourse.
From 2021 to 2025, the GCC took up 49 pavement projects covering over 220 kilometers at a cost of Rs 46 crore. But despite all the talk of complete street and non-motorized transport, funding for footpaths has dropped while money for roadworks keeps rolling in.
That neglect has had real consequences.
Pedestrian deaths have shot up from 11% in 2019 to 43% in 2023. The city now plans to invest 200 crores to build 200 kilometers of safer footpaths.
My humble request is, whenever a platform is made, then 2 engineers, one sitting in the wheelchair, a manual wheelchair, another engineer blinded, double blinded, ask them to move over. If they do so, there will not be any problem for any people, not only for the disabled, for the even common people. It will be very helpful. Road is bad means you should put all the official responsible for the road. If you make them the vehicle in their vehicle shock absorber free, they will not go fast. Because they go fast, the vehicle has so much of shock absorber, they don't realize the problem.
But at the same time, you have similar societies in other parts of the world. Let's say even a Cambodia, Bogota for that matter, whose economic GDP is not as much as India. I'm not comparing a Europe or Singapore. There, when you provide an alternative, where if you provide high quality public transportation, if you provide high quality streets, everyone loves it. So you have even ministers who are using a tram line or a bus or cycling to work in Netherlands. So all the people need is give them a choice. Then this aspirational bubble will be addressed.
Basic encroachment on any road or street, as far as I see in Chennai, is the ramps coming out of the residences. This is because they don't follow the building guidelines of setback space. If proper setback space is followed according to the rules, the ramps can be kept inside the premises, right? So basically, these are not followed. And what some of the citizens say is because corporation year on year without milling, they keep the streets and roads are gaining height. We are pushed to keep our basements at 3 feet or 5 feet. That is why ramps are going out. But still ramps can be kept inside. They can keep the ramps inside the premises by keeping their floor level low. And because of these ramps, during monsoon, most of the streets get flooded. The stagnation of rainwater on the streets is because of these ramps. They hinder the flow of rainwater into the stormwater drains.
So we need to understand that urban streets are different, and that urban streets need to proportionately give out space. Limited space that we have needs to be proportionately given out to all the different users. Now that's a design challenge actually. How do you prioritize how much space do you give to which user?
Chennai calls itself a modern city. Yet across the city, payments are shrinking, not because of the small vendors or hawkers, but because of the residents. Will the city protect its public space and reclaim its footpath? Or will the pedestrians be forced to dodge cars and bikes just to walk?
Encroachment is like thievery. I rob someone's right space. So people should know that the word encroachment should be removed. First, the word encroachment should be removed. We should not say it is encroach. Suppose someone takes away money from me, I call him a thief, a robber. This is also robbery, thievery.
When pavements disappear, citizens lose the right to walk. Meanwhile, violators get away without accountability. At the Minute and Newslaundry, we believe that journalism should stand with the citizens and not with those in power. This report is part of our investigative series exposing elite encroachments on pavements across cities in India. If you like the work we do and want us to continue, do become a paid subscriber by scanning this QR code or clicking the link in the description to contribute to our Reporters Fund.